What's going on, everyone? So, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I will be very surprised if he is a Bucks player next season. Now, technically, Milwaukee doesn't have to trade him, still under contract. I think that this is the end for Giannis and the Bucks. I think he played his last game in a Milwaukee jersey, which sucks because it's the way he went out. You never want to see it that way. And then, Damian Lillard getting hurt and stuff. But Milwaukee has zero chance of building a contender around Giannis right now. Nothing. Their Dame is going to miss the next year with the Achilles tear, right? He wants to come back. He is planning on coming back, but he's 35, right? Coming off an Achilles tear. And I know Kevin Durant makes, everyone just go, man, but there's a big difference between Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard, right? And Damian Lillard already, there were questions about him declining and not the same player and all that stuff. And now you're adding in that he just had one of the worst injuries that a basketball player can have. And it's just, I think his career's done. If he does continue to play, he's probably relegated to a role player at that point. Probably had moved to, a sixth man type role where he's just a bucket getter off the bench or something, right? A Malik Monk type version type thing, right? I just think you look at that situation. So Giannis isn't going to have a co-star all year. Nobody's going to want Kyle Kuzma. You're not going to get value for Kyle Kuzma. You have no young core future, something that has been a real issue for years now that they needed to get younger. They have no draft picks for the next 5 years or whatever, right? Because they're all either swaps or just straight up here you go type picks, right? Milwaukee is stuck. They are literally in purgatory right now. And their only shot is to trade Giannis. And I think if you're Giannis, you're going, it's time, right? Which, look, in Giannis's defense, the guy brought you a championship and played more than even Kareem did, right? For Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee Bucks fans at all should be disappointed and upset with Giannis winning the league. Because again, they're stuck. What are they going to do? How many years can you just keep losing in the first round? Right? He has no help. He has no co-stars. His second best player was Gary Trent Jr., right? Who was a vet minimum guy because no one wanted him. Right? So again, it's just, I don't know how Milwaukee is going to magically turn this around. They don't have assets. They don't have desirable players that teams are lining up for to go like this guy outside of Giannis. Giannis is the only guy that is available. And look, you're already getting reports that Giannis and Milwaukee are supposed to sit down and talk about their future. Giannis is only getting older. He's already had injury issues and, questions in the playoffs and stuff like that with injuries and stuff. How much longer can he have? And he's a guy that it's not this lights out shooter and stuff. He's very reliant on his athleticism, right? So at what point does he start to decline? At what point does he start to you start seeing that clear slope, right? All these things are very questionable, right? So it's in his best interest to probably get out sooner rather than later, because the longer you stick around, the harder it's going to be. And so the question is, if you're Milwaukee, what are you looking to get, right? I don't think you want just a full rebuild package, because you don't own any of your picks, right? So it's not like you can tank it out. You can bottom out this year and next year and the next 3 years and then just get a bunch of great draft picks and now you have your foundation. No. If you're Milwaukee, you're looking at you need at least 2 kind of foundation pieces and then a couple draft picks, right? So I'd look at a team like Houston. Can you get Şengün and whatever else? Supposedly they don't want to trade Amin Thompson, but can you get Şengün, Shepherd, Eason, or maybe a Cam Whitmore, right? Maybe you get Eason, Whitmore, Şengün. They probably give you Jalen Green, but I'm not really big on Jalen Green. But point is, right? You need something like that. You need a trade where you're getting 5, 6, 7 guys, or an OKC team where can you get a Jalen Williams and, would they give you Chet Holmgren? All right, maybe you get Jalen and Chet, and that could be your foundation. Now you got those 2 guys for the future, right? I don't know, they have to, assuming if OKC wins the championship, I think they'll just stay away from Giannis. But if they lose in the second round again, do they kind of look at it and go man, SGA and Giannis probably win a championship here, and then you have Dort and Caruso and all these other guys, right? Probably the best defensive team in the league, and you got your two guys that can dominate and go win a chip, right? Like that's probably what you're looking at it at, right? But I think if you're the Bucks, like those are the kind of packages you're looking for. You're looking for a real foundation piece. You're looking for guys that, you can kind of build around the next 5, 6, 7 years, hopefully keep you afloat, at least a play-in team, right? Can you at least be a play-in team? Because again, you can't bottom out. You can't tank for the bottom. So you need a situation where you have, again, 3, 4 foundation guys that you can keep around, maybe keep a Porter Jr., right? Maybe keep Gary Trent because he's still young, and like those are the guys, but they're free agents, so they could just leave and depart. But maybe you're like, hey, give you guys a bigger role, right? Get a piece or two. I don't know. I think team like Houston has, because Houston has, you could get 3 or 4 guys from Houston. Houston would still have enough to be one of the best teams in the league. Right, they'd still have enough depth, enough talent, enough versatility, and you'd get a bunch of draft picks and a bunch of young players to build around. Like that's what you're looking for, right? Like that's what you want, right? Like you want something where you actually have a nice core foundation, rather than because again, like could you, a team like Houston or OKC or whatever, right? Like could you pull something off where you're getting, I don't know, like OKC give you like 10 firsts. Like, sure. But again, you can't tank for the bottom. So you have to get a package that actually like makes you competitive. That are young enough to give you pieces. Like, I wouldn't want to go and trade for a bunch of like another aging star or anything like that. But like, can you work something out where, you're getting a guy or two? It's tough, right? Can you get would Atlanta, would they give you Riz Shea and Dyson Daniels or something like that? I don't know, maybe, right? Like, it's going to be interesting because I think Milwaukee, it's in their best interest to get out of the Giannis business at this point. I think Giannis definitely should get out at this point, right? You both end it amicably, right? You don't have to be, there doesn't have to be any ill will, right? Like, I think if you're the Bucks, you just go, hey, man, where would you like to go? Do right by Giannis. Hopefully, Giannis gives you some options for some teams that actually have a nice return that makes sense for you that you can get, and you kind of find this happy medium and all is good. But I think Giannis is gone. Like, again, I'll be pretty surprised if he's a Milwaukee Buck next season. I really do. I think he's gone. Because again, they weren't very good this year. They're not going to be very good going forward. And there isn't. What is the fix? What is the path? I think it's over. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. As always, this is a discussion, so I'd like to hear from you. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Else not, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.